other boats. You must always just look at the space in front of you. That's Kisley laying down the law. Here comes Kova. It's Kova, he's taking Campos on. Stroke by stroke, he's going past him. And he's gone past him like he's standing still.
What a race! What a race!
God, be calm, get in. Be calm, be calm, be calm. The Hungarians are away.
The South Africans are away, side by side.
But it's Hungary. Hungary take the initiative.
Wow!
Oh,
what a race! What a race!
I cannot believe that!
Oh.
Just a mass of quality paddling. See collision in the background.
World champ.
Look
Anna
at that.
From
That's going to
Czech
be
Republic.
That's going to be tears. It's going to be laughing.
Yeah.
She can't believe it.
She's so happy.
Go to the back of the ball, Salty, and that was clean. That's perfect. Egan is going to get squeezed out. That is dangerously close to the edge.
It is McGregor! It is McGregor! No one has given up. Boros is hanging on. Alonso is hanging on. Gold medalist Hank McGregor, South Africa!
Ladies and gentlemen, the European Canoe Association, the French Canoe Federation, the city of Decize, and all of us organizing this greet you. Very welcome back to the 2019 European Marathon Championships here in Decize, France. A wonderful region in the middle of France, the Burgundy region, famous for its good wine and agricultural projects. It's great to be here in this city, this ancient city of Decize, already mentioned by Julius Caesar in his notes from the Gallic War 2000 years ago or so. Since then, developed quite a lot here and at the bank of the River Loire, and the River Loire offers perfect conditions for tonight's race. And tonight we will experience K1 Junior, K1 Men Junior, 22.55 kilometers in quite hot conditions.
Alors, pour ce junior, il y aura 6 tours.
Air temperature 31, but it's no sunshine now. It's cloudy, but it's no wind. Water temperature 20, as you can see. 31 centigrades is that's hot, and to go 22 kilometers without wind in such a temperature is challenging. So it will be a very interesting race coming to that. And up for tonight, we do have a course, of course. The course, the first lap without the portage, second lap finalized by a portage, the first portage on the second lap. Then they will do 6 full laps, 1 short lap, that is the yellow line there on the animation, and 5 portages. So 6 full laps, 1 small lap, 5 portages, in total 22.5 kilometers. Quite a simple course, no specific challenges, more than the portage that always is a challenge for the athletes. That is marathon, that is how it should be. My name is Stefan Gustafsson. I will try to guide you through this, and I will also get help from my good commentator friend Jim Rossiter soon here to guide you through this exciting race with this long start list of close to 30 juniors doing this race here tonight. As always, junior racing is quite unpredictable. We haven't seen many of them before, but there are some paddlers that we know are will be among the top guys. Some of them is of course from Hungary, the great marathon country of Hungary, and some are from Denmark, and maybe some from Sweden, with Carl Brodén there on with boat number 106 that have done quite good races recently. We saw them at the World Cup in Oslo recently. It's still a couple of minutes before the start, so we will follow them warming up and enjoy the beauty of the wildlife of the Loire River here in the middle of France. Others that are interesting here is from Hungary, Vince Petro. Vince Petro, we have seen him before doing great racing, marathon racing, and now he's the last year junior, so we can expect him doing well. Vince Petro, watch for him, is boat number 90. Nikolaj Thomsen from Denmark, another strong doing very well, Henrik Poulsen. And of course the French paddlers with Gabin Luman, boat number 87, will certainly do everything they can to be among the top on their home course here in the middle of France, together with Philippe Frisch, boat number 85. 89 there is Erik Hedin from Sweden, a very talented youngster from the city of Karlstad in Sweden. Saw him last week doing great at the Swedish National Sprint Championships. Sweden ran a full week for their national sprint. Quite unusual. Bekasha Bendegus from Hungary. And 81 is Gabriel Perea from Spain. Also, Spain is one of the great marathon countries of Europe, with very, very tough selection races and many, many classic marathons. there. '92 is Zach Tarver from Great Britain. Haven't seen him before on the international courses, and that's how it is among the juniors. Many of them are doing their first international races as juniors, gaining experience and having fun for future, for years to come. 104, second Spanish guy, Abel Garcia. And France, Gabin Luman. Denmark, Nikolai Thomsen, as I mentioned. We have seen him before. Part of the strong Danish marathon movement currently. Many young athletes coming through the lines. The river offers perfect conditions here tonight. It's hot, but it's calm, and the water temperature is not more than 20, meaning that the athletes can cool themselves down a little bit by all the splashes and the water they got over themselves in the group when the race starts. We have had 43 centigrades here during the afternoon. That's why the race was delayed a little bit. We decided to delay all the starts according to the weather and change the program according to the weather. It's not possible to do marathon racing when the temperature is above 40. Now, in the night it's a little bit better. In the evening it's a little bit better. Even if it's still over 30. '105 is Dan Sedlacek from Czech Republic. Czech Republic that usually have good marathon paddlers, a good marathon tradition in Czech.
Maintenant, les compétiteurs approchent de la ligne de départ. On va parler de ces 27 assos, bien sûr. De bateau français, numéro 85.
Ready to start. We are using an automatic start system. Lines in front of the bows of the kayaks will offer a perfect start. Start list again. Wins Petro, number 90 from Hungary. Watch for him. Quite sure he will be among the top guys already from the start. 27 boats on the line, and that's quite difficult. It's not plenty of room for them. And off they are, and it's Denmark, Philip Knudsen, that is taking the lead out from the start, directly from the start. In his white shirt in Hungary. Other is Vekashi, Bendagush Vekashi in the lead in the white boat and the white shirt there. Hungary, Bendagush Vekashi. Bendagush Vekashi in the lead. And I think Denmark on his side. There comes Spain, and then it was an accident, as it often is. In Spain is Pereira Gabriel that is taking over from Vekashi. All stay quite well together, but the speed is quite high. We can see that from the spread of the field now. Forming a diamond in the middle, and then everyone lining up on each other's washes. If the speed was slower, they would be more together, but the Spanish guy, together with Vekashi, is really setting high speed already from the start. It's Abel Garcia in the lead now, currently, followed by Bendagush Vekashi. And then the Portuguese, Bruno Brasileiro, are there. Czech Republic, Dan Sedlacek should be among these top, and also Dominic Fink from Germany, and Erik Hedin from Sweden. But they are all quite well together. Continue to shift positions all the time here. Tommaso Tremolanti from Italy in the lead now, 103 there, together with Vince Petro. Vince Petro from Hungary. Speed has slowed down a bit now. Can see that from many paddlers coming through. Quite relaxed paddling up to the first turn. First turn is 2 kilometers from the start. And then another 2 kilometers to next turn. So the first 2 laps is without the portage. In the end of the second lap, comes the first portage. Now the paddlers are trying to create a good position for themselves, not using too much energy. Sometimes it's more convenient to be in front in this situation, not having to fight for positions behind the leading guys. But it all depends on what kind of skill you have as a paddler and how well you know yourself. '83 is Julian Kluserat from Germany, and a beautiful shot from one of the drones. You can see the calm water of the Loire River. Loire Valley that is producing so much good wine all alongside this river. Something happened there.
De la catégorie Canoe Dame Junior va commencer.
Eleven paddlers in the first group. Tells us that the speed is not incredibly high. Spain is leading now. Abel Garcia, boat number 104, leading into the next, the first turn, coming up soon, within a minute or so, minute or two.
Mesdames et messieurs, nous présentons les finalistes et médaillés de la catégorie Canoe Dame Junior.
Sweden are there. It's Carl Brodén, 106. Had some problems there, crossing the field. Just got hit by someone behind him. A little bit of struggle there between Sweden and Portugal.
Chef d'équipe de la Hongrie.
The bronze medalist is
The upper turn.
Hungary.
Médaille de bronze pour Esther Zonka, Hongrie.
And there we go to the prize giving ceremony. The prize giving ceremony for this morning race. K1 women, full distance. K1 junior women, full distance.
Silver medalist is Joe plus Belgium.
Médaille d'argent pour John Place de la Belgique.
First place and European champion is Shara Makrai from Hungary.
Première place et championne d'Europe pour Sarah Makrai de la Hongrie. Merci de vous lever pour l'hymne national de la Hongrie.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show recognition for the 2019 European Marathon champion.
Mesdames et messieurs, merci d'applaudir les champions européens de marathon 2019. Alors que pendant que la remise des résultats se déroulait, les juniors ont bien avancé. Un groupe de 7 bateaux maintenant s'est un peu détaché. Avec, on retrouve en tête les 2 Hongrois, un bateau russe, les 2 bateaux norvégiens, le bateau anglais ainsi que le bateau italien. Donc pour le moment, on est plutôt dans des placements. Il n'y a pas vraiment d'attaque, tout le monde se regarde un peu. Il va être long ce marathon.
Now back to 11 in this top group. Speeding up now, just 200 meters to go to the next turn. Passing the commentator tower here. The full group, and it seems like the speed have increased slightly, making it very, very hard for Carl Brodén from Sweden to follow. Together with his Portuguese fellow. Hungary in top. Hungary and Denmark, the two Danes are still there. Very relaxed around the turn. No big efforts. And Vince Petro is going quite close to the boy, but not more close than his teammate could follow on the inside. Team racing among the Hungarians here. Managing this quite big group well.
Voilà, en tête de ce marathon, le Hongrois, Vince Petro, 3e au dernier championnat l'année dernière, en junior première année, et bien cette année, voilà, il est en tête de cette course. À côté de lui, le Britannique Tim Dolan. Et le Danois, Nicolas Kamsen, 4e dans les championnats d'Europe, avec un très très gros but de chasse derrière. Voilà le numéro 87, le français. Allez, on peut l'encourager, le français, gamin loin. Et on retrouve un tout petit peu derrière le deuxième français, le 85, Philippe Frisch.
Here they are, Tim Dowden, the British youngster, doing it tremendously well here today, together with the two Danes, Nikolai Thomsen and Philip Knudsen. Also in that group is Vince Petro, Bendegus Vekashi, Tommaso Tremolanti from Italy, and Abel Garcia from Spain. Soon 4 kilometers done. Out of 22.5. 22.5, and it's 6 full laps, 1 small lap, and 5 portages. The first portage after 2 laps. Speed is not very high now. Looks like the second group
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the medalists for the C1 Men Junior Distance.
Mesdames et messieurs, nous vous présentons les médaillés de la catégorie canoë homme junior.
The medal will be presented by Alain Lassu, President of the County Council of La Nièvre, and Jean Zungrana, President of the French Federation, accompanied by Robert Weiss, team leaders of Hungary.
Les médailles seront remises par Alain Lassu, président du conseil départemental de la Nièvre, de M. Jean Zungrana, président de la Fédération française de canoë-kayak et des sports de pagaie. Ils seront accompagnés de Robert Weiss, chef d'équipe de la Hongrie.
The bronze medalist is Marco Oliveira from Portugal.
Médaille de bronze pour Marco Oliveira du Portugal.
The silver medalist, Spain.
La médaille d'argent est pour Léon Villarba de l'Espagne.
Hungary.
Première place et champion d'Europe pour Balázs Pala de la Hongrie.
Please rise for the national anthem of Hungary.
Merci de vous lever pour l'hymne national de la Hongrie.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show recognition for the 2019 European Marathon Champion.
Mesdames et messieurs, merci d'applaudir les champions européens de marathon 2019.
Done their upper turn, and it's a large group now, and the second group is also large and just a couple of boat lengths behind. The speed is very low. No one is willing to do any hard work. Currently it's Gabriel Perea, Spain in top, and the Hungarian guys there in the middle are managing this wonderfully well. On each side of the leading Spanish guy. And as you can see here, the second group is not far behind. Abel Garcia wins Petro. Bendegush Vekashi, Philip Knudsen, Tim Dowden from Great Britain, Tommaso Tremolanti, Nikolai Thompson, Dan Sedlacek from Czech Republic is also there. Luca Romano from Italy, Bruno Brasileiro from Portugal, Eric Hedin from Sweden, Oliver Ost from Belgium, Carl Brodén from Sweden, and Matthew McCartney from Ireland. Saying that, speed increases. Now they are approaching the turn just before the portage. Their third turn coming up soon, coming under the bridge here, 400-500 meters from the turn. The turn is just after the finish line, so they will pass the starting line and the finish line, doing the turn and then immediately into the portage. Quite an easy portage, high ponton though, a little bit slippery, so they need to play cool there. don't take any risks, and of course they have practiced that. Here they are: Abel Garcia, Bekashi, Thomsen, Petro, Knudsen, Tremolanti, Sedlacek, Dowden, Oliver Ost. Top 10. Speed back to slow. Everyone waiting for the big effort over the first portage. Quite important for them to keep an initiative there. No one want to get stuck in a group and risk any accidents in front of them. Free water is the best, and that could be achieved in many ways, and that is what's going on in their heads right now. Here's the second group with Carl Brodén and Erik Hedin from Sweden, together with Belgium, Oliver Ost, and Luca Romano from Italy. And you can see, everyone can see now that the speed is very slow. Just resting, relaxing, saving strength, watching each other. It's quite tense there now. Everyone is watching if anyone is doing anything. And now Perea is increasing this. Garcia is increasing the speed a little bit, but just a little bit, slightly, just to keep the initiative. Watch the Hungarians on his wash, managing this perfectly well. Creating positions for themselves. Hungary, good team racing there. Garcia seems to be happy to leave room for Hungary into the turn, trusting his ability to run. Vince Petro, Nikolaj Thomsen, Bekashi and Philip Knudsen. As I said, Denmark have a tremendously good young generation coming, and that is also valid for Hungary and Spain. Stretching out a little bit around the boys here now. It's just a couple of meters now, both lengths into the first portage. No really high speed into this portage. The first portage out of 5. Passing these traditional fishing boats, river boats, used for the course umpires. So, into the first portage. Hungary and Denmark. All quite well together. Tim Dowden had some problems getting out of his boat. It's quite high pontoons, running well now. All of them. It's Hungary. It's Denmark. Oh, very, very nice jump in there. From Nikolai Thompson. And they really managed to split the group now. Good run. Vince Petro doing the job now. Nikolai Thompson. Both of these guys are strong paddlers over the long distance. They could push and push. I think they will try to keep the speed high. We have seen Vince Petro doing that many times. And Nikolai Thompson also has that ability. Second Danish guy, Philip Knudsen. See how the second Hungarian and second Danish paddler react on this breakthrough. I think it's a little bit too early yet to see any real team racing. All of them is eager to close the gap and try to keep in top of this race. Garcia struggling behind there, doing his best to close the gap. Vince Petro is still keeping the speed quite high, but not too high. He's pulling at the speed of his lactic acid threshold. Not more than that. Not tiring himself too much, but that's good enough to stretch the gap slightly. Can see it's about 60 meters or so. These distances are not on the meter accurate, but we can really see how the race develops. 60 meters means about 15 seconds. Petro is watching over his shoulder. He is really eager to keep the speed high enough. Nikolai Thompson not willing to do any hard work so far. Quite pleased to be with Petro. They are still the fastest two on the course right now. All kind of statistics possible to get from this GPS-based system. Fastest lap so far out of two is Vince Petro, Nikolai Thompson and Tim Dowden actually. Wonderful conditions, and now the temperature is under 30, 27. And the water temperature around 20, so it's not too exhausting out there. Otherwise, excellent conditions on the beautiful Loire River in the agricultural and district of Burgundy. where we stay these 4 days for the European Marathon Championships. Third group, led by Erik Hedin from Sweden, and together with Oliver Ost from Belgium. The two in top.
Voilà, toujours nos deux athlètes bien en tête maintenant, le Hongrois et le Danois.
The two in top, and the distance to the second group is exactly the same. 60 meters to Garcia alone there, and 120 meters about to the group behind him. Quite a split up on this first portage.
Derrière, le groupe s'est reconstitué. On joue la troisième place.
Passing turning point 1, and there we got a timing. Timing is a little bit more precise on the timing positions across the different timing positions on the course, each turn and the portage. 22 seconds to Abel Garcia, meaning that the distance continue to increase actually. Vince Petro and Nikolai Thompson keep the speed high. And still no second group. Hard for Abel Garcia there. No man's land. All alone. Now Thompson is doing some work in front. Fourth position now, just under a minute behind Bruno Brasilier, Tim Downen and Dan Sedlacek. They have lost a minute since the portage, meaning half a minute each kilometer. That's a lot. That's telling something about the ability to keep this speed high by Vince Petro and Nikolai Knudsen. Honestly enough, it has been Vince Petro that were doing most of the work. I think they are starting to feel that this gap might be a little bit too much now, even if it is a long way more to go. Soon halfway through the race, finishing this lap at this next portage is halfway. These guys have 1 minute to the top. Once again, Vince Petro. Second lap slower as it used to be. The speed set in the first lap is more or less always very high. Petro seems very, very relaxed, not using too much energy. In such a position, you really don't know how fast they are going behind. It's hard to keep track of them when they are a minute behind. And such a gap could, if it start to close, it could go quite quick until you recognize it. Garcia continue in isolated from any group, doing his best to keep the second group behind him. Garcia has still around 20 seconds up to the top group, 60 meters or so, a little bit more maybe than 60 meters. But the second group has lost ground, continue to lose ground. They are a little bit more than 200 meters behind now. Oh, a penalty. The penalty system is if someone is doing anything wrong out there in the course. Could be everything from squeezing a fellow competitor to missing a turning buoy accidentally, or throwing a drinking bag in the water. Then you got the 15-second penalty. And then you have to stop and stay for 15 seconds in the portage. Put your boat down on the turf and just standing there seeing your fellow competitors pass. And that is the worst 15 seconds in a young paddler's life. Garcia will have to stop. He probably does not know that yet, but he will be told by a yellow flag. The yellow flag tells that the athletes must watch for penalties, and then the course umpires will tell him when he approach the next portage. "15 seconds penalty means that he will probably be together with the second group after the penalty is taken, because the second group are about a minute behind the top group, and is 40 seconds behind in between the second group and Garcia currently. Bruno Brasileiro is leading this second group. When Petro and Thompson approach the turn just before their second portage. And the gap to the second group, led now by Tim Bowden, continue to increase. Now it's 220 meters, or just a little bit more than a minute. It seems like these two guys, when they approach halfway through the race, keep the distance. They actually increase it. And still, it's Vince Petro that is doing most of the job in front. Looking over his shoulder, and he sees that the distance to the second group is quite long. Garcia will have to stay and wait for 15 seconds, but I don't think. I think he will still be on the second position, on the third position in the race. The group behind him will not catch this during his penalty of only 15 seconds. The time measurement is on the middle turning buoy in that turn. just above 1 minute now. Was just under a minute at the previous turn. Nice and easy. Knudsen is choosing to get some new drinks from the Danish team leader. Choosing the red line there, the red carpet, that is to get new drinks. And now Garcia must stay for his penalty. See how that turns out. There, boat down from 3. Still no soap. He didn't session. He lost in front. Still
Et ça partit pour le 99, sans doute un peu tordu. Quelques secondes, mais plus au partenariat. Déjà des écarts assez conséquents sur ce parcours très physique. Parcours. On retrouve un peu tous les ingrédients qui composent le marathon. On a le vélo qui se déplace, on a les hauts on a les virages. Beaucoup de tactique. On voit que les athlètes
France down to 15th position or so. 15th, yes, Philippe Frisch. And in the top, the gap continued to increase.
Tandis que le mouvement Lilian-Liste passe actuellement devant nous. Il se dirige vers le compte pour trouver en parcours. Deuxième.
Garcia still about 100-130 meters behind. The flying two in top. Still Petro is pulling very, very strongly down by Petro. We have seen him doing similar things previously, and also Adam Petro doing the same. The guys like to keep the speed high over the long distance. Some paddlers do. Some others like to ride a wash and try to take the advantage of a very fast finish and use any mistakes of the more the guys that are more willing to pull over the long distance. Two different type of tactics and two different type of paddlers usually. The Dutch paddler had some problems and got help from his team leader, Onnekes. Himself a good marathon paddler once upon a time. Bert Onnekes, team leader for the Dutch team for many years. Abel Garcia from Spain. Isolated, but keep the speed high. Strong-minded, good and well done. It's really tough not having anyone to lean on. No wash hanging. Actually just setting the speed and going as fast as possible without tiring himself out too much. It's always a question of going on the limit, not over the limit. Need to keep the lactic acid, the level of lactic acid in the muscles low enough not to get stiff. And Garcia is doing that tremendously well, as is Vince Petro. This is the third group. Oliver Ost from Belgium in the lead, followed by Erik Hedin from Sweden and Gabriel Perea from Spain. And the second Hungarian, Bendigus Vekasi, who made so much effort during the first lap, but couldn't follow when his teammate Vince Petro made his effort over the first portage and right after the first portage. So I got a message from the chief official here that the leading boat, Vince Petro, missed a buoy and has a penalty of 15 seconds. In marathon, contrary to what is valid in sprint, you are not automatically disqualified if you miss a buoy. If you're not turning back and do the buoy on the right in the right way, you got a penalty. It could be 15 seconds or 30 if it's not by mistake. And obviously, the course umpires saw that this was a mistake. So Vince Petro will have to stay 15 seconds and see his fellow competitor from Denmark go away 15 seconds. And this will make the final lap quite interesting. So keep in mind now that Vince Petro will have to stay 15 seconds in the next portage when Nikolai Thompson is pulling very, very, very slow. See when he recognized this, if he will do the same, waiting for Petro once again, or if he will try to go all by himself. 15 seconds is not that much if you are Vince Petro, used to these long distances. Maybe he knows now that he will need to do a big effort when passing the portage or after the portage. A very interesting development it will be. Nikolai Thompson and Vince Petro together. Nikolai Thompson pulling now, cleverly, slowly. And the second group are closing slightly. Second and third group are well together now. Garcia to 250 meters after, meaning a little bit more than a minute, and then followed by the large group, the large and larger group that is another 100 meters behind, or a little bit less than that. And this means that Vince Petro, when he stops for 15 seconds, he will not be caught by anyone, but he will lose ground to Knudsen. It will be a very, very interesting to see how not Knudsen but Thompson, Nikolai Thompson, managed that. Petro into the turn. From there it's 150 meters or so to the portage. I don't think he's aware of his penalty yet, but probably he understands that after having missing a boy. But you can never be sure until the judges have told you.
On se dirige pour le troisième portage maintenant. Voilà, quelques minutes.
Would have been nice to have the graphics now and see how many seconds it is.
C'est donc leur troisième portage. En fait, ils devront en faire 5.
Into the portage.
L'Hongrois va donc signer une pénalité de 15 secondes.
Petro stopping, 15 seconds. This is the hardest 15 seconds in his young life. Just seeing Knudsen disappear. Looking over his shoulder, where is Garcia? Garcia entered the portage now. And now, there off he is. And now it's full speed ahead. Will be very, very interesting to see how Nikolai Thomsen is managing this now. If he is setting the speed, it's still they are on lap 5 now. It's this lap and one more long lap to go, and we know that Vince Petro is a very, very endurant paddler, and it's not much.
Pénalité au tour précédent. Avec Garcia.
Gave some extra thrill into this, but I think Petro will manage to close that gap quite rapidly. Wouldn't be surprised if they are together once again at the next turn.
Allez, ravitaillement pour
But of course, it costs some strength and power.
Portage des Douanes.
Second group over the portage. It's Team Dowden doing a great race together with Philip Knudsen, the second Dane, who is taking the lead out there. And Brasileiro from Portugal, Bruno Brasileiro, third in that group. Lost some ground over the portage. Comes the third group, led by Spain, Perea, together with Oliver Ost from Belgium and Vekasi from Hungary, leaving his boat there. Kristoffer Mjelstad from Norway was also there. Right behind them, Erik Hedin from Sweden. Perea needs to empty his boat. They have foot pumps in their kayaks. But if that foot pump is broken, or if they got too much water into the boat at the portage, they need to empty. There is also a technique to empty while running, but that affects the Thomsen and Petro. Looks like Thomsen is looking over his shoulder. He's not panicking, not at all. He's not doing too much to keep Petro behind. Just setting the speed he's comfortable at. and that is the right thing to do now. Trying to just pull and beat Petro by pure endurance is quite risky. I think he realized that. That would tire them both out. It's too much left of the race. It's better to try to stay together and help each other a little bit. Good tactical decisions from both of them, I think. Especially as we know Petro has a very a speller with great endurance, keeping speed high over long distances. It's very slippery on the pontoon. Need to take it easy. So Carl Brodén, who fell on his back. On the other hand, the pontoon is plastic boxes filled with air, so they are not that hard to fall on. Together again, and then Nikolaj Thomsen stops and are letting Petro taking over the hard work in front. Something I don't think Petro is that interested in doing after having close 15 seconds gap, but he's forced through. Nicely done from Nikolaj Thomsen. He just refused to pull, leaning on, trusting that Petro will continue to do the hard work. And Petro probably knows that the best thing for him to do is to try to tire Nikolaj Thomsen out. After such a distance in the race, they know each other quite well, even if they haven't met before. Probably Petro see his strength in the endurance, keeping the speed high during long distance, and is not willing to risk an in sprint with a too fresh Nikolaj Thomsen, keeping the speed high enough to tire him out a little bit in this hot weather. Hungary, that often has hot weather. They are quite used to both train and race in hot weather conditions in Hungary, also on river racing. For Denmark, quite the opposite is valid. Kashi is leading this group. Together with Eric Hedin and Luca Romano from Italy. And 93 is Kristoffer Mjelstad from Norway. And then Ost from Belgium. And Gabriel Perea from Spain. Well together again, exactly the way we have seen them most of the race. And now it's about 200 meters to Abel Garcia. 200 meters is a little bit less than a minute. And another 70 or so to Tim Dowden, Filip Knudsen and Bruno Brasileiro and Dan Sedlacek in the second larger group. Watch the technique from Petro. He's not using much of his arms. It's just the hips and the stomach. A minute, and a little bit more. It looks like Abel Garcia is going to be caught by the second group, and then we will have nice racing for the bronze medal, and very nice racing also for the gold, of course. They are on their 5th lap. Another long lap to go. And then a short lap and finish. Bruno Brasileiro is leading the second group. Tim Dowden, Knudsen, and Seldacek. These guys are seeing Garcia now, and they can both feel and see that they are quite rapidly closing the gap. Garcia is not comfortable there all alone, and now he will be caught. He's done what he can for many kilometers to keep them off, but now he will be caught. Petro continue to do the hard work. Thompson perfectly positioned on the wash. Garcia do everything he can to secure his bronze position, but that is not an easy position he is in, with a group of 4 in a hunting party behind. Third group, led now by Norway, Kristoffer Mjelstad, Eric Hedin, Vekashi, Perea, Luca Romano from Italy, and Ost from Belgium. Nikolai Thompson paddling very relaxed. Watch his shoulders, they are down. He's just using his upper body and the rotation and the weight of the arms to keep the speed going. Very relaxed, very nice. Seems that he looks like he's resting a little bit, leaning backwards, stretching his back a little bit, as it seems. Could also be a trick just to force Petro to keep on doing the hard work. And Garcia still keep them off behind him. Quite impressive. He saw them coming and increased the speed. Well done. It's often like that during such a long race. In some periods you feel tired, lose some ground, and then after some fresh drinks and a little bit lower speed, the strength, you gain some strength again and can keep going. Especially when the will is strong to keep the hunting party behind. Knudsen really want to be able to go for the bronze medal, setting the speed in the second group, trying to catch Garcia, while Petro and Thomsen now is into the turn just before their fourth portage.
Toujours aussi impressionnant nos deux hommes de tête, le Hongrois Vince et le Danois Nikolai Thomsen. Un perturbant, il mène cette course de 20 mètres. On a même vu que la pénalité de 15 secondes subie par le Hongrois ne l'a pas pénalisé puisqu'il a retenu assez rapidement la tête de la course.
After this portage, it's one more full lap to go, and then the short lap. A little bit more, currently a little bit more than 5 kilometers more to go. 5 very tiring kilometers in the hot conditions here on the river this evening. It's still over 30 centigrades out there. The water temperature around 20. Into the portage now. Would be surprised if anyone do anything seriously in this portage. They will wait until the final one. Vince Petro and Nikolai Thomsen side by side. Cleverly done there by Thomsen, moving forward. Side by side. Up the pontoon. Denmark. Thomsen choosing to get some drinks. No, he didn't want. He took that road anyway. Petro is a little bit shorter to run on the green carpet. Oh, watch that. Very nicely done of Thomsen. Yeah, just as I said that, he need to adjust. Not so nicely done. He took a risk there. Now Petro is moving. This could be decisive. Petro is moving now. Thomsen had an accident. I think he got a lot of water in his boat when he missed that jump in. And now it open up a little bit for Vince Petro. Maybe that was a decisive mistake from Thomsen. He was risking everything to jump into the boat instead of doing it nice and tidy. It's always a risk you face when you do such things in a portage. Much better to be safe and doing it cool and safely. And off is now. I think this race is done. Now it's Vince Petro. He will never lose this grip. Vince Petro that have done most of the work over the long distance. He will definitely go for it now. And watch this. Now Garcia is caught. Could very well be double Danish for silver and bronze, because now Knudsen is up there, setting the speed to try to close the gap to his teammate in front of him. A very unfortunate development for Thomsen, but a very interesting development for the race actually. Vince Petro alone in the lead. This is Thomsen. That was risking everything to trying to do a very advanced jump in. Not many paddlers can do that. Jumping into the boat from a pontoon that is 30 centimeters high without using the hands on the pontoon. Takes a lot of training to do that. Hundreds and hundreds of times you need to practice to be able to do that safely. And even if you have done that, it's really risky. A slight mistake on a slippery pontoon and you're done. So now it's Knudsen that is pulling the second group together with Garcia and Seldacek and team Tom Dowden. All four of them feeling, smelling the bronze medal, and probably also a little bit smell of the silver. It's 100 meters between Nikolai Thomsen and the second group now. 100 meters is close enough so that they really can see him all the time. And Vince Petro is looking over his shoulder. Where are they? Are they coming? I think he is starting to feel a little bit safe now. Vince Petro. It will be tough kilometers here for Thomsen. Still 4 kilometers to go. All alone. And the second group is doing their job now. Seldacek setting the speed, trying to close the gap. Could very well be so that they will close that gap and do it just before the final portage, and then it's open again. Interesting development of this race. A slight small mistake from Thomsen at the portage made it for Petro. Now they are letting Garcia pull once again. Telling me that the willingness of them to make a serious effort to close the gap to Thomsen is not that high. If it would, I think Knudsen or Dowden would do a lot more for the moment. A little bit of team racing maybe from the Danes as well. They do have a silver medal if this remains, and can have a bronze as well. If the group catch Thomsen, they could very well lose both medals over the last portage and the sprint. So always very risky. But this guy doesn't risk anything. Bruno Brasileiro, all by his own. Right behind the second group. He was together with the second group for quite a long time during most part of the race. He's in a very difficult position now. Thomsen is looking over his shoulder, feeling the panic coming. He's doing everything he can now, trying to go as hard as he possibly could. With still 3 kilometers, 3.6 kilometers to go. This is further down the line. Third and the fourth group. It's Perea on this is I think 9th, 10th, 11th position or so. Perea, Vekashi and Mjelstad, the Norwegian. Watch here now, watch him. There, he's going in, and there, the boat is leaning leftwards, filled with water, actually capsized, and he need to empty the boat. Quite a lot of water came in. It's hard for him to emptying it rapidly. Would have been much better for him just to take it easy there. He would have had the ability to get into the boat fast enough without risking everything by doing this very advanced way of jumping into the boat again. It's nice to be able to do it, and it looks nice, and you can very well be decisive in an in-sprint at the final portage doing like that, but you suffer the risk of risking everything or losing everything. It will be a big learning curve for him. Vince Petro is looking over his shoulder. I think he start to feel a little bit comfortable now. You're never really comfortable in a leading position. You always keep in mind that anything could happen. But the gap continue to increase. The problem being in such a position as Petro is now is that you really not know how they are doing behind. You're starting to feel tired yourself, especially in the end of such a long and very, very hot race. So you really don't know how fast you're going, and not how fast the guys behind you are doing either. It's really comfortable and good to have team leaders giving you back times. Not so common in canoeing. In other sports like cycling and cross-country skiing and these endurance sport, team leaders everywhere giving back times. But canoeing, for canoeing, it's a different story. Most paddlers must trust themselves doing that. It's not that easy for team leaders to be out there on the water doing such things. And this second group, I don't think they will manage to catch Thomsen now. No one seems to be willing to pull hard enough. Definitely not Knudsen. Good little team racing there. He's not doing everything he can to close that gap now. Petro. in splendid isolation. Close to 200 meters in front of Thompson now. That has another 150 or so. The second group. Perfect shot of a perfect diamond. Everyone is positioned exactly as they should in such a diamond. The leading boat providing good wash hanging for the guys on both sides, and the one in the middle behind is riding perfectly well there. You can see that from the bow of his boat that is downwards, taking some water over it. Perfect position there. Can just ride the wash without too much effort. The speed isn't very high either. They have definitely no ambition to try to do what they can to close the gap to Thompson. Rather the opposite as it looks. It's 150 meters or so the gap has increased to Thompson, actually, not the opposite. Thompson is passing outside the commentary now. Meaning that Vince Petro approach the portage quite soon. The final portage. Vince Petro to the final portage with just a little bit more than a kilometer to go. Tremendously well done from Vince Petro. It's half a minute to Nikolai Thompson, meaning that Nikolai Thompson have done quite well during this lap. No big hurry for Petro. He can afford mistake, not a big one, but he can afford it. Vince Petro in his final portage with just 1,000 meters more to go. Vince Petro, nice and safe out on the short lap. Short lap that is just a little bit more than 1 kilometer.
sans aucun doute remporter cette course.
Here's Thompson.
Alors que débarque à l'instant le deuxième de cette course.
I think he's feeling quite pleased now, keeping the second group behind, actually increasing the gap. Very, very strongly done of this Danish youngster. Another proof of the coming generation of Danish marathon paddlers. And here is another one, Knudsen, also Denmark. Doing very well. And here it will be an intense race for the bronze medal. It's Garcia and it's Knudsen. Garcia and Knudsen side by side, running the fastest they could over this portage. It's Garcia that gained some new strength after having done most of the race on his own. Oh, another accident for Denmark on the portage, Knudsen, but he rescued himself quite quickly, and he will be together with Garcia out there on the fast, rapid, short lap. But that actually saved Dowden. Dowden that is among the three now, contesting Garcia for the bronze medal. The pontoons are slippery. We have seen it before during these championships. They are slippery, but they are not dangerous. Quite soft. Plastic cubes filled with air. So all the effort over this portage came to nothing, and now Dowden wants a better position for himself. He's testing a little bit. Watch his eyes. He looks very, very eager. Doesn't look tired. Tim Dowden from Great Britain.
Le bientôt champion d'Europe junior 2019 de marathon. Petro, qu'on peut applaudir.
Could see from the close-up that his eyes really were burning of desire for the bronze medal. Garcia is a tough competitor to beat. And now, towards the finish line, over the finish line, wins Petro from Hungary as the European champion K1 Men Junior 2019. A very well worthy European champion, having done so much work all by himself all race through, no mistake. Yeah, he missed the buoy and had a penalty of 15 seconds, but that doesn't matter. He won, and he did it very convincingly. I'm looking out my window now to see Thompson somewhere there. He might come any second. And there he is, Thompson, going for the silver medal. The silver medal to Denmark by Nikolaj Thomsen. Very well done, Nikolaj Thomsen, Denmark. And now we can concentrate on the race for the bronze medal. It's Spain and it's Great Britain and it's Dowden and Garcia. Dowden that has not done too much work in that group, and it's Dowden that is really going for it now. Tim Dowden, and now comes Garcia. Garcia is setting in, but it's Dowden. Keep getting the bronze medal, bringing the bronze medal home to Great Britain. Tim Dowden, bronze medalist, K1 Men Junior 2019 at the European Championships in Decize, France. Good race, good sportsmanship here.
Destiné. Premier le Hongrois Vince Petro. Deuxième le Danois.
Knudsen and Seldacek congratulate their fellow competitors on 5th and 6th position. And the medalists Vince Petro, Nikolai Thompson and Tim Dowden. A great race here this evening. Hot conditions, but not too hot. Very wise of the organizers to postpone the racing to the evening when it's a little bit more cool. If 30 centigrades is cool, but it's better than 43 that it was around 3 this afternoon. Portugal, Bruno Brasileiro. On about 7th or 8th position. Now everyone is finishing in a long, nice row. Tough in sprint, rapid one.
Le Français Philippe Huich qui va lui aussi embarquer
By Vekashi and Kristoffer Mjelstad from Norway. Erik Hedin from Sweden, finishing around the 10 or something like that. 12, maybe. Oliver Ost, Belgium, 13.
Alors, un dernier portage également pour Tom Verduc, le Belge.
Perea, Spain. Time to summarize a little bit. A very interesting junior race, close to 30 competitors. And we saw a lot during this race. Penalties, accidents, catch-ups, paddlers losing ground. Very interesting and good racing. And well-worthy medalists, all of them. That's marathon. In the very hot conditions on the Loire River here in Decize, France. We will have a prize giving ceremony coming up soon when these guys have rested a little bit and finalized their boat control. And then we will be back tomorrow, 9 o'clock, with K2 Women Juniors.
Il sera suivi par à 2h05 par la course des CA1 moins de 23 ans. Il y aura ensuite à 11h15 le départ des K1 dames des moins de 23 ans et à 11h20 des C2 hommes juniors. Voilà pour le programme de la matinée. Il y aura ensuite en début d'après-midi à 14h la course des K2 hommes juniors. Et à 14h05, ce sera suivi par la course des
Ireland, Matthew McCartney.
Et enfin, la journée de course se terminera par le départ à 16h des K1 hommes moins de 23 ans. Donc un programme
And
très dense.
Germany, Dominique Fink, finishing there. I know these boys are doing their first international marathon here today, the first championships at least. And this beautiful view of the Loire River could finalize today's racing here from Decize. For those interested, stay tuned. Prize giving ceremony coming up soon. Thank you for following us this evening. Me, Stefan Gustafsson, all alone in this very hot commentator box. Thank you for listening and wish you welcome back tomorrow.
Qui va réembarquer pour la dernière fois et qui va se diriger vers la ligne d'arrivée, lui aussi. Belle expérience pour ce jeune Français. Alors parmi toutes les animations que vous pouvez faire sur ce site de Decize, outre les animations de canoë et kayak et de paddle, sachez qu'il y aura ce soir un concert gratuit ouvert à tous avec le groupe The Pharaohs, groupe pop rock